can't stop the funk. I can't stop it. I can't stop the funk. I can't stop it. I can't stop the funk. I can't stop it. I can't stop the funk. I can't stop it. Yo, it's your boy Kenji, man, and I'm back with another review. This is a TV series review. I know it's been a long time. I should have left you. But goddammit, I had to leave you, man. I'm working on my Kingdom Explained channel, and I barely work on that because I got a real life, goddammit. But look, in this video, man, we're gonna be talking about my first impressions of this TV show, The House of Dragons, which is a prequel show to the Game of Thrones. And if you know me, Kenji, I didn't like the ending. I think most people are in agreement that the Game of Thrones ending, the way it happened around 6.5 seasons, right around that area, and then 7 and 8, it just fell off to me, man. Even though season 7 was the season that got me into it, but then when I went back and looked at the first 5 seasons, I was like, what happened to this show? But that's besides the point, man. This is a prequel series, man. And when I went into this, there was a coworker I work with, and he was talking about, man, I'm about to go watch House of Dragons. I laughed from the deepness of my gut, and I just knew. I was like, bro, why are you even attempting to watch that? Like, you about to be disappointed. But I had a day where I had nothing to do, and the episode had been released to the public, and so I watched it, man. And to my surprise, as I had my low expectations of the show actually hooked me in. First episode, man, I'm down to review the whole fucking season. I'm like into it. And I was like, who? It makes me feel like, come on, y'all. A lot of TV shows don't understand this and what they did. And, it had the coworker that actually told me he was going to watch it didn't even like the first episode. I'm thinking like, bro, what else more do you want? Like, what do you want? I know you want something more, but you greedy, bro. Let them show you the characters. So, that's why I say about people who are mad about Game of Thrones. Don't go in this expecting season 1 through 5, even though it basically gave you everything. It's just people are so quick to dismiss something. Now let's get into it because I'm gonna spoil a little bit. So the House of Dragons. This is about the Targaryen family, Daenerys' family. This is 200 years before the Game of Thrones. 200 years before Daenerys was born, right? And so we are focusing on Viserys. He is the new king. He basically was given the crown by a council of lords. See, the king before him, which was his I think this was his uncle. No, his grandfather. Excuse me, that was his grandfather. Now his 2 sons died. The grandfather's 2 sons died, and the firstborn had a daughter who was supposed to be the crown, the crown queen or whatever. But the Council of Lords chose the second son's son, so his grandson Viserys, and he also has a brother named Daemon. All right. Whenever you hear that name Daemon, you know something about to go on down. Daemon is coming. But you see what's going on. You starting to see that tradition is overcoming the whole the passage of giving it to your heir, right? It's like, no, we don't want to do no woman. Let's get this man over here. And I think the real reason they chose Viserys is because he's actually a convincible person. He's a good person at heart. You can see it. And he probably get taken advantage of. I don't think that was going to happen to his cousin, Rhaenyra. That's her name, Rhaenyra. I'm probably mixing those names up because some of these names are so close. I got to get used to their names. But that's what's going on. But now, 7 years later, he is trying to get a son. He's trying to get an heir. He has a daughter. It starts with another R word, but I don't want to get that confused. She's a dragon rider. Most of all the Targaryens can ride dragons. There's probably like 18 dragons in the show instead of 3 dragons. So we have this going on. You starting to see the whole this whole topic that the show is trying to tell you about is that usually men pass down their rank to their sons. And I'm gonna tell you, sometimes people just be like, "Oh, it's because of sexism." It's like if you usually just start saying that, like I say this, when you usually start claiming somebody is a ism, any type of ism, it's hard for you to actually go deeper and to figure out why that person is choosing to be that way. And then you'll actually find out it's not because he hate women, alright? Motherfucker got a mother, he has an auntie. Come on, y'all. It's because it's his son. Men put pressure on their firstborn sons, right? If you didn't know. And they usually spoil their daughters a lot. So they ain't about to be putting her in that position where he was like, I didn't raise you to be this way. You know what I'm saying? Most firstborn sons, they go through it, bro. So this whole thing of, oh, y'all just don't want no women. Believe me, man, there has been women leaders, warrior women, that have ruled. It's just you're not about to have a woman who's all petite, who has been raised in luxury and never really did no training. You're not gonna pick her to be the queen. There was a queen, I think her name was Cleopatra, not the one you know of. This one that was in Greek. I think this was Alexander's sister, warrior queen. That's besides the point. Even though Alexander Great and his whole family, his whole story is pretty much based. Game of Thrones is based off his story. All right, I'm just letting you know. But now you see what I'm talking about. You see, he's trying to get a son from his wife, but his wife, she's going through pregnancy problems where the last few children she had was either a stillbirth or they died. And so I'm thinking like something ain't right with your usually something ain't right with your wife. And I know a lot of women died in giving birth back then. So I get it, but something ain't right with your wife. She can't have babies like that. They keep dying. Alright? She not even dying. The baby died. So he doesn't even now the wife is pregnant. And he's trying to they don't even know if it's gonna be a son or a boy, but he believes it's gonna be a boy. And his daughter is feeling some type of way about that, right? But then you have his brother who has came back. Damon. This dude, a lot of people say he's gonna be the villain. Excuse me. But I think he is going to be the anti-hero. Alright? He's not gonna be the villain. And you're gonna see him turn into anti-hero, probably to villain, and then back to the hero. The true hero. But Damon is second in line. And a lot of the people around Viserys, the king, like his right hand, Hightower, don't want Damon to be king because they think he's a little bit too, what would I say, masculine. Masculine, makes a decision. It's like he either gonna punish you or reward you. He ain't gonna play this middle game that Viserys plays. He's not easily convinced. And so the people around him, they really focusing on money. That dude, the right hand man of Hightower, man, he really just focused on power, right? And we're gonna reveal a little bit later on why I say that. But Damon comes back, and they throw this like a tournament where they're on horses and horseback, and they're knocking each other off. And man, that was a hell of a scene, man. It was freezing for a long time. But the tournament, They were on horseback and they was doing a little horseback thing. That was one of the best horseback scenes I've seen in a long time, by the way. And you know, there's this other guy who's Dorian. He's a common birth. Yeah, Game of Thrones know where Dorian is, and they fight like they knocked each other off the horse, and then they got up and they would just start swinging their swords. But Damon had lost because he started cheering after he knocked old dude to the ground, and he made him yield. So Damon is kind of like a showboat, basically, right? And let's get to the point, because that whole tournament was to celebrate the birth of Viserys' son, because his wife is in labor. Now he goes to his wife because he's told something is going wrong with his wife, and we get to see one of the worst scenes I ever seen in a long time that made me cringe up. Where you see this woman is dying on her birthday because she's trying to give birth, but they try to turn the baby, but the baby is not coming out. It's not coming out. And if the baby don't come out, let me tell you this: if the baby don't drop, both of them are gonna drop. Everybody know that. That's common sense. So Viserys has to make a decision. Dude, the person that's trying to the doctor or whatever, the priest, he tells him like, "Yo, Viserys, we gotta make a decision. We can cut this baby out of her, but your wife ain't gonna survive. But if we leave the baby in there, both of them gonna die." And I was like, "Oh no," because he's such a good person, good-hearted person, and you know he just wants his son. And a lot of people gonna be like, "He's sexist." No, he just wanted his son. He spoiled his daughter. He loved it. He didn't want to put her in that position. All right, all right. So he makes the decision to do it, and we have to watch his wife face. They do it while she's like looking at him, and the look of betrayal on her face as they cut open her stomach and take that baby out, and she dies there, and he's holding her hand, and I was just like, oh, if there's an afterlife in the Game of Thrones, boy, when you go see your wife in heaven, boy, you got, boy, she gonna talk your ear off. But guess what, y'all? The baby ends up dying anyway. So it was like, damn, my wife was gonna die anyway, but I sent her off with this pain, and her last thoughts is of me betraying her. That's got to fuck with your spirit, right? And so Damon hears about this whole thing, and Damon he's like fucking prostitutes. He's the leader of the City Watch, and they did a scene where when he first came in, and he laid it down because there was a lot of crime in the city, and they just came in there and start cutting off pieces of people's body. If you stole stuff, you giving us an arm. If you raped somebody, you giving us that penny whacker, right? If you didn't kick some can down the street because you didn't pick it up, we cutting your foot off, right? It's just, that's what it is. They was making up shit then. But Damon hears about how the heir dies, and he says something horrible. And Hightower, the right hand, has spies everywhere, and he relays the message back to his older brother Viserys. And what he had said was that, you know, his son was only king of a day, king of a day, because, and you don't see the disrespect. I don't know if you see the disrespect. He would have, if the baby would have lived, he basically would have took the throne from Damon. So he said some shit that was very horrible. And a lot of times throughout this first episode, you see Viserys protecting Damon. A lot of people don't like him, and he defends him so much. You could see it that he loves his brother, his little brother Damon. But Damon keeps doing stuff that just like, why the fuck am I helping you if you keep betraying me like this? Saying ill will shit behind my back. And oh man, it's so he sends him off. He sends him back to the Vale, away from the kingdom, and he makes his daughter the heir. You know what I'm saying? And from my perspective, it seemed like she She was just mad that she wasn't the heir, but she don't really want to be the heir. It's like she don't know what the fuck she want, right? And that's just me. That's my perspective of it. But this first episode did a hell of a good job fleshing out these characters and what they want and who they are. It was, I wouldn't say it was perfect, but I don't know how you could make that episode any better. The only way you could have made the episode better is if, like, soon as the show started, right, you would have got, like, let's say, instead of this whole, Damon just showing up and being cool, Damon showed up on his dragon and was just fighting his brother. Yeah, that would have been a cool episode, right? First episode, brother versus brother, fighting the throne, they both riding dragons. Oh my god. Yes, that would have been good, alright? But you ain't about to get nothing like that. You know you ain't about to get nothing like that no more. Who the fuck is calling me? Stop. But you know you ain't about to get nothing like that. That's too good, man. That's some movie type shit. But that's what happened in this episode, man. It was amazing. When I was watching the episode, you know how you just watch an episode and you just like, is this good? I'm not used to watching something good. You're like, this is actually, I'm actually liking these characters. At first I was like, I got my doubts. And then I'm watching, I'm like, wait a minute. I might be fully invested in this show. When the show ended, I was like, oh my god, I gotta wait a week. And then that's when you know you like a show. But you just, as soon as the episode ends, you be like, oh, I gotta wait a whole fucking week. But yeah, man, I'm back, man. Doing this Game of Thrones. I don't know, I watch a lot of movies, but you know, hit the like button, man. Support the channel, bro. I might start being consistent, but I will be doing this House of Dragons once a week. And Yellow Jackets season 2 announced. 2023 is gonna be released in the beginning, so I will be reviewing that, man. Yellow Jackets. But other than that, yo, go check out the show, bro. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot, man. A lot of people say prequels don't really hit. It's a motherfucking lie. Alright? It's your boy Kenji. Subscribe, comment, like, share, do all the this. I'm out.